Hello, fellow Californians. Jeff Christie checking in with you. I am hopeful to be a candidate to serve as your governor. I have been a lifelong Californian since 1962, and I know that state very well, forwards and backwards. I've seen a lot of the good old days where the Golden State was well in place, and I would like to get it back to that. It has not been there in a long time. It has become an embarrassment, a laughingstock, and so forth, but we're going to fix that if you put me in. The reason I'd be good for that is because my majority of my vocational history is in competitive commerce of various sorts. I've been an employee, an employer, a contractor, a commercial operator, and consultant, and so forth. With all of that, none of it hardly has been in bureaucracy, but I have had to work around bureaucracy, which is the greatest impediment to efficiency and the economic operations and so forth. And you know that because you have been living in the same place I have, where everything needs to be allowed and permitted and licensed, and you need to pay fees and surcharges and taxes and assessments and so forth. If you want to let that keep going, you won't put me in. If you want that all to stop, you will. And I'm hoping that's what we're going to do together. I have a long list of corrections that can be made. I have several ideas that I will need to put specialists onto. And part of my work so far has been what I call the Meredith resolutions. These are going to correct California quite a bit, and it's going to go away from being the People's Socialist Republic und Police State of California. It's going to go back to being California, the Golden State, where people want to be. We have lost many good residents. We have lost many good businesses. I hope they're happy where they are. That's the reason they left, because they were unhappy here, and nobody blames them. They did the right thing for themselves. I don't want to interrupt that for them, but I want to make the state attractive again, and logical, and practical, and reasonable, and accountable. So we have to do that by not continuing to elect people based on party, people based on bureaucratic history, people based on doing things same old, politics as usual, politicking, glad-handing, kissing babies, and so forth. We need to get somebody in there like me to make all that go away. Things need to get done. So you can see in the nation that a businessman is making America great again. MAGA. My platform is MEGA. Make Eureka great again. Eureka is the state slogan. Hello, Jeff back again. Jeff Christie for California governor. I am going to be doing this in the spirit of a Braveheart type operation where you just have to force things to get better, because if you leave it up to the powers that be, it's not going to happen. If you continue to elect people whose entire history is public service, when actually it's not giving much service at all, if you keep electing them, and if you look in their histories and they have been in one government job after another, and this has gone on for decades, is that somebody that really knows how to make things work efficiently? No, it's not. They don't know how to do that. All they know how to do is request budget allotments from entities that are going to take it from the taxpayer or the taxpayer's property to get what they want. They do not know how to be competitive. They do not know how to be a servant. But people in competitive commerce do. Business has to compete to survive. Bureaucracy doesn't. Bureaucracy rules by force and upper hand. That's not the way America is supposed to be. That's not the way we want California to be. We want it to be where the people are running the show. We are the residents. We are citizens of America. Those of us who are guests means we are here legally. If we're not here legally, we're not guests. So as a citizen, resident, or guest, you want this state to run efficiently. You cannot do that by continuing to elect the same people from one government job to another, who have been voted in, who have been appointed in, who have been hired in, who have been contracted in, and all they ever want to do is work for the government because they don't have what it takes to succeed in competitive commerce. Well, government needs to imitate the better businesses to run efficiently, as if it has competition. A company known as California Water Service is based in San Jose, California. They have no competition. They handle municipal water service for a number of towns throughout the state. One of their mottos in a company is, we don't have any competition, but we always operate as if we do. That's how state and all other governments need to operate, but they don't, because they had nothing to fear. If they lose that job, if they get in trouble, all they do is get shuffled to another bureaucracy instead of being fired. Well, a lot of things need to change so we can get the right people in, get the wrong people out, and make this thing work for us, because that's what it's supposed to do. The government of the state of California is supposed to serve the people and be run by the people to carry out the people's will, not to tell the people that it's our job, we know what we're doing, leave us alone, we'll handle it. That's not going to cut it anymore if I'm governor, because we need to make Eureka great again. You can't do that with a protective, insulated, insider type of operation. That is not something we're going to let go unless you elect people that will allow it to go like that. So let's not do that. Let's get a businessman in there who needs to run things efficiently to survive, as if there's competition all the time. And California could go underwater if it's not managed properly. You need a competitive commerce spirit in there, not a politician, not a career public trough parasite, not a non-competitive entity or personnel. We need to be competitive, and putting me in there is about the only chance I see of that happening.